Well, hello there. Welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, and of course, joining me on this fun, epic, long hour journey is the one and only Dr. Finn Medicine Woman, who is eating ramen noodles as we speak. How are the ramen noodles, Finn?
They are pretty good, and I blame Ouchie.
Well, what did Ouchie do?
Ouchie's the one that got the thought of ramen in my head yesterday.
Oh, well, that's true. You guys were having a discussion about that.
Yeah, her and Loki were, and then she put the picture of the ramen, and I love me some ramen, so I got some ramen for lunch today and figured I'll eat it on the lunch stream.
That's right. So a lot of crazy stuff going on. We got some events up. No news to report other than territory wars are hot and heavy. Holy moly, are they hot and heavy? I know you're going to have one of those days. When we get done here, I'll just sit in the Discord and listen to Finn like, no attack.
Yeah, crazy. We're within, we're 40 banners away from the leader right now, so it's a tight one.
How are you doing this territory war?
We're doing good.
You personally, though, how are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I had one major misstep. I had a Thrawn squad, and I was playing around with the ones that I had because I changed around some things that I put on defense and used for offense on other squads. So I didn't have my exact lineup. So I put together a Thrawn squad, and I couldn't remember who I wanted in the 5th spot. So I just put somebody and went on, and then realized I forgot Shore Trooper and completely messed up my entire attack. So I wasted my Thrawn. That wasn't good. But other than that, it's been going well.
Yeah, I'm up to 180 banners total, and I could probably get a couple more, but I'm almost tapped out. I've been attacking. It's just like nonstop when I can. Taking out a couple teams here. I mean, we were behind when I went to sleep last night. I stayed up late, took out a couple CLS teams and stuff like that, JTR, and then I was like, okay. And then I did one round of fleet, took out a fleet, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. And then I woke up, I'm like, oh god, it's on like Donkey Kong. Yeah, like, oh my god, so I've been attacking. So I'll do some more attacks here. I don't have that many good teams left, but you gotta do what you got to do.
Yeah, all my good teams are now gone, but they were used against other good teams. So overall, I'm happy with it. It's just that one screw up really kind of messed. I lost my Thrawn team, which wasn't happy.
I know, Finn. It happens. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I know.
I just got 2 Millennium Shard Falcons. Well,
very nice.
There's a first for everyone in their life.
I'm at 170.
I hate you.
What?
170 flags or Falcon shards?
Banners.
Oh, banners. I thought you said Falcon shards. I'm like, I hate you.
No, Falcon, I'm already 6-star, and I am at I'm at 14 out of 100 on Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I just got Spy to 100, but I need the credits to finish them. I got Reaper to 4 stars. I'm still working on these ships. Jesus. Oh God. I mean, the funny thing is, like, the characters are done, like, and stuff, but I can't. I gotta farm the damn ships. I can't do anything with them until then. It's like, no. All right, for you guys out there that are joining us, thank you for being here. Hope everyone's having a great day. If you have a question, go ahead and get that in there. Dr. Finn will scoop it up, and we will get to as many questions as we can. Remember, we only have an hour. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't. This is your first time listening to us. Hey, subscribe. That helps support the channel grow. It's all appreciated. If you'd like to donate, you can. We've got the super chat function. We've got you can become a subscriber. We've got the homepage. We've got the store. You can buy merchandising. If you want to listen to us later on, we've got the podcast store. I mean, Finn, we got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I know. And here I am just eating my ramen.
That's right. That's all Dr. Finn does is he comes up with ideas, eats ramen, and sends crap to me to do. All right.
Sounds about right.
Nah, it is what it is. All right, so I need to check all the stores. We just had a refresh.
Oh yeah, let's just check on mine too.
Yeah, let me check the stores here. Let me see what I got. Let me see. Okay, shard shop. All right, put all those back in there. I will take some of those. Thank you very much. I'm collecting those.
I'll use that. So after today's territory war, win or loss, I'm at currently 19, so I will get my 20th Zeta. So I will have another full Zeta, and I'm not sure who I'm going to put it on yet.
Word?
I'm tempted to put it on Emperor Palpatine lead, but I'm also thinking there's going to be some bigger stuff coming, especially in a couple weeks after the Game Changers go down there. So I think I'm just going to save it for now. But it's tempting to put it on Emperor Palpatine lead because he is that's a really good Zeta right now.
Yeah. Ooh, Poe Dameron, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Give me that shit. Give me that god dang shit. Spot. Yeah, nothing in GW anymore. I need. I mean, I'm not seeing Rex in GW anymore. I used to see him in there, but he's just not popping in there.
Rex's ship?
Yeah,
Rex's ship wasn't in GW. It was always Fleet.
Was it? I could have sworn you could get him in Galactic War. Well, then I'm really hosed.
Yeah, he's Fleet only. He's one of the annoying ones to get. Him, Biston. Those are some of the annoying ones in that slot.
All right, Stark. I only need 2 more rounds. I should have him done tonight. That'll be good. 7 stars. Let me get my Cassian Ewing shards and turn those in. Because that only leaves me 14,000 Cantina. Ugh, good lord. All right, I'm just doing some shopping, guys. Just doing my thing.
Just like a girl.
That's like a what?
Just like a little girl.
No, shut up.
I want to get the little baby Ranger girl back on here.
You can. I don't care.
Nah, we'll just stick with Baby Ranger for now.
Okay, Baby Ranger,
yeah, we'll keep. All right, we do have a question. If you guys have more questions, go ahead and
go ahead and fire them in there. Totally.
First question is from King Castern, and the question is for the new raid. Do you think it's going to give a new currency, or are we going to have a ton of guild currency now? No complaint on that. I would love all that gear.
I can't answer that question.
So it goes back to what we were saying before, right? It depends on what the rewards are. I think we had suggested before that they give Scion and Treya, right, as a potential reward in a system that may use like guild event tokens or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be neat if they added more characters to that, but then you would need like a different currency entirely. But then they slipped with the Lord of Pain release. And the Lord of Pain release kind of makes it seem like there's a Scion character coming outside of it, like in a marquee event similar to Nihilus. So in that case, it doesn't seem like it looks like all the raids are using the same type of currency, and they're going to just introduce something like a new character. I'm still going with Malgus, by the way.
I think it's going to be Malik.
So we'll see once it happens. But I don't think
there's no right or wrong answer on that one.
Yeah, I don't think a new currency is going to come as a result of this. It would just be way too complicated for another thing considered a raid, because there is a spot for a third raid in that raid screen from the guilds area. When you click on the raids, I mean, obviously it's like a little sliding bar, so they can add all that stuff. And so far, the rewards have just been the guild tokens plus shards and then equivalent gear. So I would assume that there's not going to be another currency set.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Next question from King Castern. For my smaller guildmates under 500,000, should I advise them to farm Phoenix or Night Sister? Night Sisters to get a huge advantage in Arena, or Phoenix for all their perks?
I'll let you take this one, Finn.
So, 500,000, I'm assuming that's their GP and not the guild GP, so it's not like a super new guild.
All right.
So, if it's 500,000 per person, they're going to be relatively new. But at this point, they've already kind of started down a path away from Phoenix if they don't have it. Phoenix is really good early game. They last in mid game. They have a purpose late game, but it's not as strong. The problem with Night Sisters is if they have a GP of 500,000, I think they would have gotten Talzin and Zombie unlocked. As long as they have them unlocked, I would go with Night Sisters. They're valid without their Zetas. They become even better with the Zetas. But Phoenix's best ability is early game versus late game. So in that case, I would say go with Night Sisters. They have a bigger advantage in Arena. They also have a really nice use in dark side territory battles. While most of you will only be able to use it in like the first couple phases or so, they're probably going to shift into free-to-play areas in the next I would say month
Next
at the
couple
most.
weeks at least.
Yeah, I would guess couple of weeks, but month probably at the most if they're sticking with their cadence. So I would say that once Night Sisters, especially when they go free to play, they're going to be very useful in dark side territory battles. They're useful in territory wars as it is. If you're in a guild, and I know King Castron is saying it's a 60 mil guild, so if it's a 60 mil guild, you're probably not facing a lot of Jedi training rays. And in that case, you can put them on defense, and they're really nasty on defense if you don't know how to fight them. At that level, there's also not a lot of Imperial troopers, which happen to be like their clear counter. And without a lot of those, Night Sisters become a pain to kill. So I would say at this point, if they're already 500,000, they haven't worked on Phoenix at all. If they're behind on Arena a little bit and they're trying to catch up, Night Sisters would be the way to go.
I agree.
All right.
And I just did the Executrix event while we were just talking.
I got it 7-star today.
Oh!
Yeah, because I think I missed 2 of the events when they came up earlier. Because actually, no, it was one of them. And it was during the BB-8 event, I think, when Executrix was up. And so I didn't have enough for 7-star BB-8. So that stupid BB-8 event icon stayed up the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize the Executrix event came up. So I just missed it. So I was 1 month behind on his shard. So now I got him 7-star. So now all my capital ships are 7-star.
Yep.
But that was annoying. All right. So Bradzo Swuggo asks, how would you feel if they introduced Starkiller?
Ooh.
I think Lady Ondane would be super happy, by the way.
Well, she would just be giddy. I would be fine with it, honestly. I think it'd be a cool character to have in the game. I mean, why not? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fan favorite. The video games were fantastic. I mean, they'd have to cut his power down a little bit. He was way OP. But again, it was for the purpose of the game and stuff. It's not canon, but then a lot of stuff some of the stuff they have in here is not canon, and it would be kind of a cool character. I think a lot of people would go gaga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think any introduction of those kind of characters just helps appeal to the fan base.
Right. I mean, the more different areas of Star Wars that people like that they can see in the game, I think would be advantageous to just making it more popular. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, because I know a ton of people that are Star Wars fans that play the hell out of that game. Me included.
All right. Next question from Alec. And the question is, I am running a Zeta Palp Vader team. I am a new player, so I don't have CLS or Jedi Training Ray. Is it worth it to gear Vader with Gear 12 pieces? He is my only Gear 12 character for now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Vader, any Gear 12, it doesn't make a giant bit of difference, but it helps, and it makes a big difference, not only for Vader, but also for his ship. You know, you're going to use a ship in PvP. You know, it's small incremental fractions of things that it does, but absolutely, if you can get Gear 12 Vader, go for it, especially now. I mean, the more damage he does and everything, I mean, it just helps overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if you're using him in Arena. Any character you're using in Arena right now, you shouldn't really question whether or not to get him up to Gear 12 and then put the Gear 12 pieces on.
Right.
Ideally, you're making use of all the pieces that you're getting. You won't need those pieces to get to level 12. It's only afterwards. So if you're using it, then go ahead and chuck him on him. I definitely would.
I would too.
And Vader is a really good character right now, especially under a Zeta Palpatine lead. Yep. So I think you have a long-lasting thing there.
I agree.
Okay, Eric Cron. His question is Kylo Ren Unmasked a viable substitution for General Kenobi on a meta Zeta Emperor Palpatine team?
I'm going to say no. Just because General Kenobi is just, in my opinion, is the best tank in the game. Kylo Ren Unmasked is amazing. But his synergy deals more with First Order. I mean, you can use him as a tank, and he's a really fantastic tank. If you have a Kylo Ren Unmasked and you've got the Zetas on him, I mean, he's amazing. But I still think pound for pound, General Kenobi is still the best damn tank in the game. And you're not going to get, I mean, you're not putting a Kylo.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I just don't see putting a Kylo Ren unmasked in there. I mean, just for what General Kenobi does, you just cannot beat it with any character. And Kylo Ren unmasked, you want him with that leadership, running the First Order team. His Zetas just make that team disgusting and him disgusting in that team. That's why you see a lot of people using it on territory war defense. I would not remove him from the First Order team for that reason.
What about Arena? Let's suppose he's not talking territory war.
Well, I mean, if you don't have a General Kenobi, yeah, he's a phenomenal tank if you want to use it for dark side. I mean, you could go double tank with Short Trooper Kylo Ren Mask with Vader, Palpatine, and Thrawn and just wreck shop. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And because he, especially if we have the scarred Zeta on him, he's regenerating health and protection. He taunts automatically. I mean, he's a nightmare, right? He's a pain in the butt. You can even use him on a Jedi Training Raid team. Like if you want to go General Kenobi, Kylo Ren Mask with Jedi Training Raid, BB-8, and R2, you're gonna wreck face with that team too. I mean, that's a pain in the butt team. He stuns and removes buffs. I mean, he's a great tank, but compared to General Kenobi, no. I mean,
yeah,
you can give your thoughts, Finn, but that's my thoughts.
He's a valid substitute, but he's not going to be as good. And the biggest reason is that he's not terribly fast, and he gets his speed when he's in the leader position. So when he's not in the leader position, he's not going to gain that additional speed. Mm-hmm. And one of the things you want to be careful about with an Emperor Palpatine team lead is that you have something taunting in order to protect your Emperor Palpatine. Even with the Zeta with 50% protection, that's really only 9,000 extra protection. He's still going to be pretty squishy. So what happens with Kenobi is that he will tank off turn, which is what's really good about that. But if Kylo Ren only will taunt on his turn, at the end of his turn, he gets the taunt and all that. So you will potentially lack a taunt if somebody is like dispelling. And it depends what you're facing, obviously. If you're facing like Jedi Raid team, she'll dispel taunts, and do all that kind of stuff. So I think Kenobi is better. I would probably actually venture to say Kylo Ren Unmasked may be the second best tank in that team behind Kenobi, assuming you already have Short Trooper. So I'm kind of assuming one of the little cores, if you have it, of like Thrawn, Vader, Emperor Palpatine, and like Short Trooper. And then you're kind of playing around with a fifth, maybe for like a double taunt, which I've seen and is actually pretty effective in order to kind of protect the group. So I don't think it's a bad substitute if you don't have Kenobi, but if you have Kenobi, then I think Kenobi is better just because of the fact that he'll taunt off turn.
All right.
Okay. Next question is from Ultra625. And this question is, I have Commander Luke Skywalker, Raid Han, R2-D2, and Thrawn all gear 12. I want to use the Titan team, but I'm missing General Kenobi. Who would you suggest I use in place of General Kenobi? My current arena team is CLS, Han, R2, and Chase. And he says my old Ben is only gear 9.
Go ahead and do that. I'm trying to finish this PvP battle. Go for it.
I actually don't think your team is that bad as it is if you don't have old Ben. As we were just saying, Kylo Ren Unmasked actually fits in as another tank on that team, weirdly enough. It's all light side, and then you can throw in a Kylo Ren Unmasked. It would work. The other thing you can potentially do, and it depends on what you're facing. Raid Han is good. I think Thrawn's utility is a little better depending on who you're facing. So I may keep that team and substitute Han for Thrawn depending on who you're fighting. But otherwise, I'm actually pretty okay with your team for now, and waiting until you get Kenobi up in order to use a Titan team.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, knowing a little bit about where you are in an arena will probably help too. If you're choosing between like old Ben and Kenobi on who to level, I would still level up and gear up Kenobi first. But I wouldn't put in an old Ben at gear 9. He's going to be not very effective, especially when R2 does a pseudo taunt for him and he really needs to be able to take damage. Yeah, Gear 9 Old Ben isn't going to be able to take that much. So I'm fine with the team that you have, actually.
Yeah.
For now. Let's see. King Castern. Let's see. So his question is, isn't it a little weird that Battlefront 2 characters aren't in the game? Or is it too early? Not that I'm a huge fan of Iden Versio, but it could help the dark side.
That's not weird. I mean, they're two different games. I mean, you're assuming we'll never see her in the game. We could. So, I mean...
Well, he's saying for now, since it came out, you would think that they would do something.
I mean, they're still
they gave a promotion and they gave us Kylo shards.
True, but I mean, I think they're going to let that story game play out with the storyline and stuff, and eventually, you know, they'll bring her, you know, possibly in. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them doing something later on. Here's. I'm not going to give him ideas. No, it's good. I think Stama Osbuff says, am I allowed to pit my guild in here? We're stalled at the end of phase 3 of our heroic AAT this past weekend, and we need some firepower.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We don't mind, as long as you ask and you're nice about it. We don't care.
And you've been around a long time. I recognize that name quite a bit. So
yeah.
You are a long-time viewer. No question, no problems whatsoever if you want to ask for help with your guild. There are still, if you want help, so it depends what you're looking for. There are still a lot of mercs, so mercenaries that'll come in and help you down the heroic AATs. You'll have to time it with like territory wars and territory battles so people aren't missing out on that. But there's still a lot of people that are willing to help out guilds that are struggling or just working on heroic AAT and whatnot. So you could always look for those as well, in addition to looking for like long-time players. So next question is from Sword of the Jedi. Question, why do you guys think Crew and his ship are such an easy farm? I don't remember a farm being as quick as that one has been.
I don't know.
I have my theory. I've told you my
What's
theory.
your theory, Finn?
My theory is that Kylo Ren Unmasked is such a good character that when they put him and his ship on the same node, it was a distraction from what was really going on.
What was that?
Which is that now there's 4 first order ships. So I think there's going to be a requirement to get a Haldo capital ship that's going to require 5 first order ships. They're going to introduce Hux with a ship and probably like a Snoke with a capital ship at some point down the line.
Could be.
I think people are focusing on the character more than the ship. Because the ship is okay. It's a nice ship. It's better. It's definitely better than average. But it's usually not one of the ones you'll see in the top teams consistently. So I think what's happening is there is a push for first order ships that's going to lead to a Haldo capital ship. That's my theory on it. And it's the same thing that's happening in the guild store. They put the Special Forces TIE Fighter and his ship on that same node. I am exclusively farming his ship because of that exact theory. I have a feeling that there's going to be something related to needing all first order ships.
Yeah. And
so I think it's a little bit of a misdirect because everyone was focused on the character more than the ship, and something's coming with the ship.
Yeah.
So that's my...
Yeah, I'm finishing Kylo Ren's ship, and then I'm going to work on... I've got 2 more rounds of getting Star. He'll be 7 stars, and I'm going Special Forces big time. Ship and character. So I'll get those knocked out. I've got a couple more days of farming Silencer. I'm averaging about 20 to 22 shards of the ship for 300 refresh crystals, which is pretty decent. So probably 3 or 4 more days of farming him. I'll have the Silencer done. And so then it's just really getting Special Forces done, finishing up Rex, if I can ever get shards for him, and Poe Dameron to get them the 7 stars. Spy's done. You know, I've got the other Republic ships done. So, and then it's just Reaper and Falcon, man. I mean, they're hard node ones, and God in heaven, dude. I'm almost tempted to like if I see a ship pack or I can get them, I'm buying that, Finn. I hate this farm, man. I really do. It'll make you walking happy, like, oh, he's gonna buy something.
He's been waiting for you to buy a pack.
I know, but I just haven't anything to buy it with, because you get more bang for your buck with your crystals by doing the refreshes, like for Canteen and stuff, than you do than getting the characters or stuff out of the store. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Thoka asks, what is your take on Territory Wars as a new player? I hate it, especially when it's back-to-back. So now they're only back-to-back, just so you know. They changed it, so it's always back-to-back. I like Territory Wars as they are. Yeah. I'm not a fan of what they're going to be.
Yeah, Finn's not a big fan of the changes. I am. I think as a new player, I can see Territory Wars being daunting. Because you need so many characters and teams and things of that nature. And I understand. Trust me, I understand. But as you think of it as a way to test out, pick teams, right, that you want to use, farm them, right, focus in on them. That's what I did. And then go in there and don't be afraid to, be smart about it. There are guides out there that you can look at. We've done a guide of the teams and what's their strengths and weaknesses are, and you should be good to go. I mean, my philosophy is I have I'm working on 4 really strong defensive teams, and then I've got 2 really strong offensive teams to take out CLS or JTR. That's on that side I can, and then I've got a lot of good decent teams that I can go in. Like I just went in with, with my resistance, and then I did my trooper team. I mean, that was 2 solid win right there. And then I've got my clone troopers ready to rock and roll, and some other teams that I can go in there and still. I've got my Jedi, so I may use my Jedi on one team, and so you just have to slowly build. Remember, this is not a sprint; it's a race. And I can see how Territory Wars in the beginning could be just ridiculous, right? Because you don't have the strong teams and things of that nature, but just stick with it, and you'll get more enjoyment as your roster expands and you get better characters and better gear and things of that nature. You'll see that it's actually, I enjoy Territory Wars. Enjoy them a lot. I think it's a lot of fun because you never know what you're going to face, and then you just have to. It's like playing Stratego. We talked about that, Finn. You don't know until you put the piece around. You're like, oh my god, oh, it's a Zal. Oh Lord, what do I got for Zal? And so it makes it fun. I mean, your thoughts. I know you don't like the new changes coming up, Finn, but the concept of Territory Wars overall, you like, right?
I like it when it's nice and simple, as the way it is, which is you beat the teams and then you win the territories. Right. Like you keep it that simple. I don't like the fact that the new rules are kind of changing that, where potentially one team can defeat more teams but actually end up with less banners. It doesn't make sense to me. So I think they're ruining it personally. But as it is right now, as I am playing it right now, I find it very enjoyable. Mm-hmm. My biggest issue with the new changes is that they're going to a more offensive focus. And so the offensive focus kind of changes things.
I like it because when it gets rid of some of the ties.
You can get rid of ties other ways.
I know, but I'm just saying this is the way they're going with it, Finn. All right, I'm not disagreeing with you that your idea isn't good either. I'm just
don't worry, I'm not ranting today.
Yeah, but this is the route they're going, and I also like it that you have to really think about who you throw in there because you can kind of cheese it a little bit, right? Where you take out 1 tune at a time, or you're just feeding.
But that's strategy.
It is a strategy, but it's going to change a strategy, and I think you just have to be smart about who you go in there and attack with, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so, because you have to kind of look at it like...
You can make it a race... I'm going to dumb it down here, but you can really make it a race of the stupid. If you have a guild that you're confident knows how to attack, you just put like medium defensive, you save all your best offensive. You only need to average... Well, okay, so it's going to change a little bit now at the higher ends because they're increasing the number of defensive teams.
Right.
But even then, you're still going to need, 6 strong teams. You need 6 strong teams in order to beat a team the first try. If the other team doesn't have 6 teams that can beat any team on the first try, then they're going to lose. So you just save your top 6. You put all the rest, and that's at the highest level. Lower levels, you'll save your top
totally
4.
different. Yeah, I mean, you have to think about this.
You'll save your top
There's going to be
4.
different strategies for mid-level and
so you
low
can
level.
save your Emperor Palpatine, you can save your Night Sisters, you can save your Jedi Rey, you can save your CLS. Between those 4 teams, you can pretty much take out any other team. That still leaves like a Thrawn team. It can leave a General Kenobi Zeres team. And you can put a droid team, which is annoying because if it goes fast enough, it's going to take out a character, which is going to reduce your banners. So there's a lot of things you can do on offense that will essentially make it so who is better at offense. And you won't end up with a tie because now you get like 1 point for remaining characters. You get the 10 banners if you do the first time kill, 5 for the second time kill. You basically make it so it's a race of offense.
Well, again, let's see the changes go through. We'll play around with them then. And then let's kind of, after we've had a chance to play with it a little bit, have our assessment. You know, because I'm not sold on it 100%. I'm just saying I'm more in favor of it and you're more against it. So let's kind of
I'm against it because I have an idea about what's going to happen after the first territory war.
Well,
which is that there is going to be multiple posts about how one team killed more teams than another one, but because they killed it on the first try, they ended up with less banners.
Yeah, but
they're going to be pissed because they're going to have like one extra character.
Yeah, but you still got to clear regions, and you still got to get the points for the regions. So you can have all that happy
make up those points very easily. Remember that killing it on a first try is equivalent to a 200% increase in banners.
Right, but you still have to clear the regions. If one team is, killed 2 regions and they did a first try, but the other side is pretty much wiping out your side, and you're still stuck. It's not going to matter one bit what the hell's going on. I mean, there's still some strategy and things that it's still, your goal is
going to be more offensive focus. It's going to shift. It's going to keep on shifting to getting more and more offense in order to try and get that first time kill.
Well, we'll
and
see.
Eventually it's just going to end up as a race between who is going to be able to do offense better. And there's not going to be a tie. There's too many variables now in order to get a tie between the single banner you get for characters remaining and then 10 for the first, 5 for the second try and all that stuff. Man. Getting a tie is definitely going to be reduced.
Yeah.
So if that was their only goal, they accomplished it. The problem is this is going to shift a lot more to an offensive race rather than what it's been, which is putting things on defense and trying to make it a deterrent.
Yeah.
That was the best part about the current one. That's why I liked it. Like there was strategy in terms of where you place things on defense, how strong you're going to keep on defense. You can't really cheese on defense because then you'll get completely wiped out. So you do have to be very strategic on how you're placing. That's why I like the current territory war.
Well,
the new one is a lot different, and it's going to shift towards offense.
Well, we'll see. We'll just let's keep an open mind and see what happens. Mm-hmm. And then if it's crap, I'll be here ranting with you, Finn. All right, let's get to some more questions.
All right, next question from Nathaniel Miller. Oh, hey. And I'll give a shout out to Eden. Eden, if I remember correctly, is in Australia, and she said that she can't sleep, so she dropped in on the stream.
Oh,
so,
all right. Hey, well, maybe
good evening, Eden, and good morning.
We're like warm milk. We'll put you to sleep. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Next question from Nathaniel Miller, and the question is: I'm prepping for the next R2 event to come up.
Oh, yes.
Wondering which is a better tank, Stormtrooper or Royal Guard. The rest of the team is Palpatine, Double Zeta Thrawn, Vader, and Tarkin, and which one should I do as lead?
I like Royal Guard over Stormtrooper, mainly because he can do his defensive up. He can stun. He's just a better tank, in my opinion, than Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper works really well as a tank in a trooper team, but for that lineup that you have, I would go with Royal Guard. He puts defense on everybody. He heals. He does a lot of good stuff, and he has really good synergy with what that team does.
Agree. And what would you do as your leader?
Oh, Emperor Palpatine, get out of here.
If he doesn't have in Zeta.
I don't care. Still use Palpatine.
I would actually say use Tarkin.
Well,
I would go with
let me think about that. Because remember, I tried it with the R2 event. Now, this is before anything changed. And we tried Vader first. That was...
No, Vader doesn't work.
That was bad. Okay. And I did have Tarkin, but we went with Palpatine, and I pretty much crushed it. So you could go Tarkin. You do get the speed bonus and things of that nature. I don't know. I just like what Palpatine, especially now, does and gives for his leadership. Even without the Zeta, it's still pretty nice.
It is. I did it with Tarkin though, and you did it with Palpatine. So I think
Yeah.
either of those two. I wouldn't use Thrawn or Vader.
You
though.
could go not Thrawn or Vader, and go with Royal Guard, and then try, if for some reason it's not working for you, switch to another. You've got enough leadership there that you can kind of mix and match it. But as long as your tunes are geared, pretty decently and modded, you shouldn't be too bad. The only reason I failed it the first time is, one, because I used Vader lead, and two, I was drunk as a skunk that night, and so the second time I kind of sobered up a little bit and figured it out, so but it can wipe you out. You just have to be smart about it, and there's a kill order you want to go through. There's videos on that. It's not that hard, but if you do it wrong, you will get wiped, trust me.
Next question from Two Fingers, and the question is, who should I put the Mark 12 Armortech multi-tool on? Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, or R2?
Which piece was it?
The multi-tool. I would say go with Rey.
Yeah, special damage, potency, tenacity, health steal. It's nice.
Yeah, Rey would be my first choice. R2 would be my second choice, and BB-8 last, because he doesn't get too much from the potency.
No, he doesn't do anything.
So, I mean, he does that Illuminated Destiny, but that's only like once in every 80 turns with the reduced cooldown and all that kind of stuff. So, I would say Jedi Training Rey, max her out. The only condition I would say with R2 is if you are constantly using R2 in another squad. Like, for example, if you're switching Jedi Rey teams and you're also using a Titan team, for example, in order to beat teams, and you're switching around things in Arena, R2 is going to definitely get more use than Jedi Training Rey. So in that case, I would put it in R2.
You could go to R2 because you are on a Jedi Training Rey team using his fire and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Just not BB-8. BB-8 would be my
he's the last one. But either Jedi Training Rey or R2, I would go Jedi Training Rey first. Mm-hmm. But if you want R2 first, I don't have a problem with that. It's a good piece for. It was a good piece for both of them.
All right. Danilo Papayas is saying it's not a question, but he wanted to let me know that, when we were talking about the Ewok event yesterday, and I was talking about the strategy with the Tebow lead, he was saying he managed to beat the Ewok event.
Yeah, I will, after I get caught up here, I will invest in the Ewoks, and I will get them up. And
you don't have to invest too much either.
I'll get them 85 in Gear 7, Finn, and then we'll do the event. You can tell me what to do, because I've already got Chirpa and Tebow and Elder pretty decently modded and stuff and everything. So it's just a matter of getting Scout and one other one up. So
no Scout. Don't get Scout.
He's already 7 stars, so I mean, I might as well use him.
You don't need 7-star though.
He just from farming shit. I just got him naturally, Finn.
I know, but I'm using Wicked. My Wicked is 5.
It's not like I was farming him. It's just the way.
Yeah,
it worked.
I know. Doesn't mean you have to invest in him either.
Well, I mean, it's GP. I mean,
he is the cuddliest of all the Ewoks.
Stop it. That's not why I'm investing, Finn. Shut the hell up. God, I hate you.
They did make him look very much like a teddy bear, though.
Yeah, they all look like teddy bears.
No, Ewok Scout more than any of the others.
Come on now, Finn.
It's true. Go through it.
I have, but
Ewok Scout looks the most like a teddy bear compared to any of the other ones.
Yeah, right. Wicked does the same thing.
Wicked is then second. Wicked is second, but Ewok Scout definitely more teddy bear like than any of the others.
Okay. Well, that's awful. Let's move on.
All right. Hans Omar von Harold Duarte asks, what are your top 20 heroes you would like them to add to the game? Top 20 is a lot.
That's a lot of heroes.
Let's not do 20. Let's go with 2. Each of us give.
We already.
Who would you want added to the game?
Well, I think they're going to be adding a lot of the Sith from the Old Republic days, right? I think we could agree to that, and I think Revan will be a part of that eventually. Another hero, I wouldn't say hero, but tunes I like to see them add just to make Darkseid and Empire better are the Inquisitors. And if I had to do a third one, which I think would be badass eventually, the Knights of Ren. Put those Mama Jammas in there as well.
For my 2, I am going to go with Dr. Aphra, because she just...
Yeah, I know. You like the droids. And I do, too. I think that's a great choice.
And then second is because of my theory, I would say Mara Jade, because I think that she is...
Oh, That would be a great choice. The Emperor's Hand.
Mm-hmm. So those would be my two.
Now, do you want evil Mara Jade, or do you want when she becomes Luke's wife and becomes the other Master Skywalker?
I think so. Ideally, I would want the dark, but I think the light will come in first because she will end up being Rey's mother. That's my theory. So I think
they already did Rey's damn parentage. I mean, she was a nobody.
No, she was a nobody, but that doesn't mean that they didn't give her up.
They did give her up because they were a bunch of.
No, they could have given her up just like Padme and Anakin gave up Luke and Leia.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
They could have given her up in the exact same manner and parallel the storylines. So I think it's going to be parallel storylines where Luke and Mara Jade had to give up Rey, and Rey was put with some family that turned out just to be nobodies.
It's a great journey. You said, "Don't stop believing."
We'll see here. We'll see.
Hold on to that feeling.
All right. Next question is from Adam Tron, and the question is: are ships any fun?
Yes. They can be fun. It's repetitive now. I am enjoying ships a little bit more now that I'm almost done with them. I should say this. PvP, it's the same stuff over and over until they do more stuff. But Territory Wars, you kind of have to think about it, which I've been enjoying, right? Because you have to figure out what will work. Like, I always put my best fleet on defense, and I've got a lot of decent ships left over. So I've been using a Maze fleet with the Republic ships. Oh, so much fun. You just wear them out. They can't kill you. Even with the Thrawn ship, it's like, no, I win. But that's a huge investment. And then I'll go in with Executrix with the First Order crew with Kylo Ren shuttle and Reaper and Kylo Ren a mass ship and stuff like that. That makes that part of it is fun. The PvP, some people love it, some people don't, and I understand both sides of it. But it's I don't know. I certain parts of ships I enjoy, and some I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination all in on ships, but I do find some fun things with them, and especially in Territory Wars. Come on, Finn, you love Territory Wars ship battles. It makes you think.
We went the bottom route, so we're not even facing ships right now.
How dare you, Finn? You get your monkey ass in there with your fleet, and you go take on some damn ships.
So the only reason I don't like ships, I have liked the combat a little bit more.
Yeah.
My only issue with it is it's more RNG dependent than Arena. It reminds me of the annoying evasion days.
Let's not talk about that.
With Dooku.
Why are you bringing that up, Finn? You're a bad man.
Well, so that's what this is, right? A lot of it ends up being whose Imperial TIE fighter is going to dodge. And it feels like the other team is dodging 3 attacks out of 4. Meanwhile, my dodge is only 1 out of 4.
That's right. And you'll like it too, Finn.
So that's why I'm... And I know that my TIE fighter pilot isn't maxed out, but I've also faced other TIE pilots that aren't maxed out that are the same level, and they seem to dodge more. So that's why I don't find it as enjoyable, is because the RNG just isn't... I find it much less strategy and much more RNG, and I don't like it when it's only RNG based. Like Arena now, there is some RNG to it, but even if you're facing the right squad, if you created the counter squad with Night Sisters versus Jedi Training Rey or something like that, right? You can have RNG not go in your favor a few times with resisted plagues or something like that, but you can still recover from it because you've created a squad that's designed to counter it. All the ships are the same now. Pretty much, there's 1 or 2 ship variations between everyone at the top.
Yeah, it depends on who you're running.
But I mean, everyone pretty much has at this point Biggs, Imperial TIE Fighter, then TIE Reaper, TIE Advanced, and then sometimes you'll see Umbaran, sometimes you'll see a Poe, sometimes you'll see a First Order TIE Pilot. But for the most part, the ships are relatively the same.
They are. That's
why I don't
thing
like
I was talking about. But I mean, in Territory Wars, it flips, right? Because now you have so many variations of people having to use other fleets, especially if you put your best fleet on defense and then you have to figure out what you have left over for offense to take on. It makes it very fun and interesting to try to come up with what you're using.
Yeah.
So there's both sides.
Yeah, Territory Wars is definitely is different. So I'm speaking more in terms of arena, and in general, because I mean Territory Wars is only like 2 times every 2 weeks, if that, and you always put your best ships on defense usually. So it's not really, it's hard to gauge it. That's why I'm not considering Territory War versus like the daily Fleet Arena, and Fleet Arena I don't find terribly enjoyable.
All right, next question.
Next question from DB, and he says, do you see the article where Disney wasn't happy with the EA handling of Star Wars license game and was considering pulling the license because of Battlefront and the microtransactions?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But will they pull it? I don't know. EA is a huge gaming company, and we'll see what happens with that. I mean, Disney... I mean... Well,
realistically, the problem is there's nobody else that's a major gaming company,
right.
And I'm sure all of the companies, if given the opportunity, would probably restructure in order to do it.
Right.
But if you look at some of the bigger gaming companies, they don't really have a structure in place to kind of take over these games.
No,
like
not at that
Blizzard,
level.
For example, makes awesome games.
Oh, by far.
They're not terribly into the mobile arena, right? They have Hearthstone, which is nice. It's fun to play, but it's essentially like a card game. Like this is a lot more in depth. I'm sure somebody would take it over, but I think as long as EA
companies,
super screwed up.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I think they're going to give EA one more shot, maybe, depending on the level. I mean, they'll look at the financials and they'll look at everything, and then maybe they'll make a call on it and say, all right, we're pulling our contract. Which is fine, and there are some companies out there that are really good gaming companies that would take over. So I don't know. I think EA, the thing with EA, it's gotten so big with all the different brands that they have. You know, it'd be nice to see, you know, when they did the Old Republic, and was it BioWare that did the Old Republic? Correct me on that if I'm wrong.
I think so. I don't remember.
They were totally devoted to that game. And you can tell, there were some issues with the Old Republic because it's an MMORPG. And the biggest thing was they just couldn't quite get the PvP right and the end content. They just didn't know what they wanted to be. But the storyline and the gameplay itself, phenomenal. And you could tell by just, I mean, when you went to some of those planets, you're just like, oh my God, this is ginormous, you know. And the quest lines and the storylines, unlike WoW, were fun. I mean, you could be on your main storyline and then you can go on side stories, and the voice act, it was really well done, and the design of the characters and the look and everything, really, really, really well done. I enjoyed that aspect of it. PvP was always a thing that they couldn't get balanced, but I've never really played any game in PvP that there was some sort of imbalance that they had to go back in and fix 4 to 6 weeks later, and then that set up another imbalance. I mean, it's a hard thing to do. But yeah, I think having one company just rocking and rolling on something, you see the end product. But no company is perfect. There's always going to be issues.
Yep. Let's see. We have discussions going on about ties. Mm-hmm. So Vito Anto is asking, are ties really a problem still?
Not if you have Poe Dameron.
No. I think he meant ties in Territory War, not ties in the ships.
Oh, ties ships. Oh, ties in Territory War. So, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Let's not get into that thing again.
The answer is no. Okay. Let me see if I can find the next question here. Let's see. Scrolling down, people are discussing Territory Wars. They disagree with me, all that kind of stuff. Okay,
that's right. Disagree with Finn. He's a bad man.
You can disagree. The problem.
No.
Problems will come up.
Winning over. Let's go.
Yeah, the problems will come up. Okay, Percival asks, "What is the best setup for a 7-star BB-8? I have a Crew Zeta lead." So he's asking for the BB-8 event. What's the best lineup?
You have a crew? You're good.
Yeah.
You're fine. Trust me.
The BB-8 event really wasn't that difficult.
No, I mean, I had Xylo, And so all mine at the final battle got wiped out, but then Xylo just got angry and just slaughtered everybody. But if you're geared and you've got Kylo Ren unmasked, unlike I didn't have, and mine were on like gear 7, gear 8, other than Xylo, you'll be good, man. It's not that hard of an event.
Yeah,
you'll be good.
My first order is kind of like medium. I think there are a lot of gear 9 and 10s, but I had a Zeta Kylo Ren who's only gear 10, I believe. But he basically pulled me all the way through it. So if you have anything reasonable, I think you should be perfectly fine. If you have a Zeta Kylo Ren, so then he's going Kylo Ren unmasked as your lead, then you're recovering protection and all that kind of stuff, giving extra speed. You should be fine.
Yeah. Any
reasonable Kylo Ren would be all I would say. In addition to your Kylo Ren unmasked, if you have a reasonable Kylo Ren, you're good.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Roddy Harris is asking, what are the best mods for Kylo Ren Unmasked that are not critical damage, critical chance, or speed set? You're kind of excluding the good ones there.
I mean, good lord.
He's a tank. Go with health.
I went with health and speed set with the mods I have. Plus, he gets 30 speed from his bonus. So his speed going in, I think I've got him at 198. I've got to change a little bit of his mods a little bit. But you know, what do I have his stats at?
Yeah, I would just
health,
go
protection.
With health. He recovers health everywhere.
Yeah, so I mean, health is always good. I want him fast because he gets the bonuses and stuff and things. So, I mean, you can go defense and health, right? You could go offense, defense, and all health and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go with them if you don't want to do crit damage or crit chance or, you know, any of those other ones.
Yeah. He's a tank, so treat him like a tank.
Treat him like a tank.
He's a tank that needs his turn in order to taunt.
Right.
So best speed secondaries on health set is probably your best choice if you're not using crit damage, crit chance, which I don't think I would use anyways on it.
No, I wouldn't.
Speed set, I definitely
Now, you want crit damage, crit chance on the rest of your first order, because that's how they get rocking and rolling. But not him, no.
Yeah. Scrolling down here. Let's see what other questions we have. I finished all my ramen.
Oh, good.
So
I'm on day 2 of my fast, so enjoy.
I'm being good though, so I've counted all the calories for my ramen.
You've been doing good, Finn.
So I have one more protein shake that I can have in like a couple hours.
Okay.
And then dinner.
Yeah, and as long as it's not Twinkies.
No, dinner's going to be a sausage hoagie. It's a spicy chicken sausage.
How about you get rid of the bread and just eat the meat?
No, I don't do that. I can't do that.
Bread is bad.
No, it's fine. I calorie count. My diet is calorie counting. It's not really looking at anything else. So, because I can't avoid like sweets completely.
Yes, you can.
So if I eat it, I make sure that I go to the gym and burn off extra calories I can.
Just.
It works. It works. It works for me.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it works for everyone. It works for me.
All right.
So, Hans Omar von Harold Duarte. So the question is, what do you think if they added at the same time a light side Revan that stuns all characters at a 60% chance, and a Darth Revan that would steal turn meter in leadership and would have one Revan that could do that? Or would you rather have one that could do
one?
That? Yeah, Ranger's clear that he wants a single one. I'm actually kind of in favor of that. Not necessarily for gameplay. I think having 2 Revans would be kind of cool. But I think it just would be kind of cool to have a light side and a dark side character.
No, one Revan.
No. One light side and dark. Give him both tags.
Yes, yes, that's right. Say, meh.
Yeah, so then he can be in our platoons on dark side and light side territory.
That's right. I'm telling you, people would be gaga for Goo Goo.
It would be. It would be like the first character that shows up in Phase 6 of Dark Side Territory battles that people aren't complaining about because half their guild paid for Revan.
Right.
It would be pretty bad. Let's see. Thane asks, how much will Ranger cry if Disney pulls a plug on EA, causing them to end the game this month, and CG had planned to release Revan?
I mean, I wouldn't cry. I mean, let's go play Knights of the Old Republic and get my Revan fix. There's more than one way to. And I could actually start playing the Old Republic again, and I've already got my own version of Revan that I could run around and hack people to pieces with. That'd be okay. It would suck, but it'd be okay.
Yeah. Dylan, I am eating meat. I told you, it's a chicken sausage. I also, in addition to my ramen, I had bacon with it. So
bacon.
I like bacon. I think that's questions. That's it for the questions right now.
So
if you guys have more questions, you can go ahead and post them in there.
We're getting ready to stop. So if you got a questions, now's the time.
We are within 40. This is going to be a tight one. 1 hour and 40 banners.
Can they do it? I'm going to be listening to Finn the whole time after it because it's just funny listening to him. It's so funny. As he eats some kielbasa.
It's let's see. Yeah, they're both sides are attacking. We're both hitting one of their walls. So, question is, who's going to break through the wall first? I don't think anyone's going to actually break it. I think we're both relatively depleted on that front.
Mm-hmm.
So, should be a fun end to this. So Adam Tron asks, "What is your favorite synergy?"
What is your favorite synergy, Finn?
Despite what's coming in the game, there's one synergy that I really like because it still lasts through a lot of things. It's like the equivalent of Rex as a lead, and it's Chase.
Yeah, it's a good synergy.
Chirrut and Baze can go onto a lot of teams and still survive. So I would say my favorite synergy in the game right now, it would be Chirrut and Baze.
That's a good one. I'm trying to think. I'm kind of particular on this first order synergy that I've been creating. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I mean, you could always say Luke and R2, but that's too easy.
Yeah, no, we have some smaller ones, right? So there is like Luke and
Death Trooper and Krennic and
Jedi Ray and BB-8.
Right.
Chirrut and Baze, Wedge and Biggs. You could potentially call all of Phoenix under Hera a synergy.
Yeah.
Since she is kind of like
that. It's kind of like what Kylo Mast is,
Mm-hmm. And now the new...
we didn't talk... Finn, have you seen Rebels?
No, I haven't seen it
yet. Oh my god!
I plan on watching it later today. Today's going to be kind of a fun evening. So I'm going to try and catch up on Rebels. And then I'm going to be live streaming Borderlands.
All right, I'm going to put in chat, how many over under 50% do you think Finn's going to cry like a little baby?
Oh god, did Doug not die? Okay, don't say anything.
I'm not saying anything. I just think you're going to be just a gushing tear mongrel.
But we're going to be doing Borderlands. Did you get it yet, Ranger?
I haven't even looked at that. What the hell is Borderlands?
So Borderlands is a game on Steam, and it's actually on sale right now. You can get like the regular version for like $5 and the Game of the Year edition for like $10. It's the game that that Cyber and Grim and Tits have been playing a lot. So I'm getting the game now too.
What do you do there? Is it arms?
It's like, I think it's a first-person shooter, but it's like a team first-person shooter from what I've seen. I haven't actually played it. I just got the game myself, so it's going to be my first foray into it. So I'm going to live stream my noobness with Borderlands later today.
I'll look into it. We can look at this afterwards. Jonathan question, what do you think will be the next legendary event character to come back around?
That actually goes with the other question from Grim asking about a theory of when BB-8's event's going to return.
Who was the last one? Was it Luke? Palpatine? No, he's not legendary.
Yeah, legendary was Palpatine this month, right?
Is that considered a legend? Yeah, it is. Yeah, legendary. We're due for Thrawn. I don't think...
Teals is saying, thanks for making me buy Battlefront 2 on PS4 to play with you, Ranger.
Trust me, man.
He's trying. We still haven't given up hope on it, by the way.
I haven't. It just... I'm poor.
Infinity will be asked.
All the money we get, I use right back into the stream for like the internet, which is, oh Lord. And,
I do watch SmackDown, Little V, but sometimes playing games is a little more important. Plus, I'm kind of annoyed with the whole plot right now. The whole Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with Daniel Bryan thing is getting kind of stupid. So I'm not a huge fan of the SmackDown plot right now.
I mean, I guess I can go start prostituting myself for a PS4 Finn on the streets. Be a streetwalker until we get it.
That's true.
But, yeah.
Tits would be happy to see a picture of you in a dress.
Yeah, I know. Be a
streetwalker. Yeah, I do watch WWE for what it's worth, Lil V. I watched Raw yesterday, so I've been watching that.
Yeah, I know.
I usually watch SmackDown, but Borderlands.
Yeah, and not since the Attitude Days have I watched Raw. I used to love it, and now I'm like, no.
It's actually not bad now. So after they introduced,
I don't want to hear. I'll go back and check it out, Finn. I don't need it.
Well, no, I'm not saying anything about the plot, but just structurally with WWE. Like little behind the scenes stuff, right? So Vince McMahon controls WWE. So he was basically running Raw and SmackDown. And then Triple H married Stephanie McMahon, and
yes, I know all that.
Yeah, so he was prepping to like kind of take over. But essentially what he did was he started his own kind of separate thing, NXT, which is like all the up and coming talent. And it's almost like a training division.
You're right.
But they develop so many characters now in NXT that by the time they come to WWE, they're already like trained. They're known by the fans. They've been like wanted to come over. So the influx of NXT into SmackDown and Raw now had just made it so much better because the talent is just so much more developed by the time they get there. Like previously, it used to be the good talent that used to be coming from like the other companies.
I know.
They kind of did it with they still do it like with AJ Styles. They got him now into WWE. Samoa Joe, who's been kind of absent, but they brought him in here too.
That goes back to the old ECW days and stuff, where then you had.
But that's when they more bought it.
Yeah, so same thing with Turner and when that happened and everything. So.
Yeah, TNA is just kind of a failing brand at this point. Yeah. They keep trying to bring people, and then the people keep on like they try to build it up, and then it just fails.
Yeah, it's a lower division.
It was good for a while. They did run for a while, but then like Hogan left, Sting left.
Right.
They kind of lost the name recognition of TNA, and then everybody started to come over. So then like Austin Aries came over, and Bobby Roode came over. Dudley Boys came back. It's just a whole bunch of things.
I know
Nathaniel Miller. Yes. This is a lunchtime stream.
I try to stop it, but I.
This is a lunchtime. We talk about everything.
Oh, good Lord! All right, so let's end the stream, Finn. You can pimp everything.
All right. So this is the lunch hour stream where we talk about the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and in addition to whatever else you guys want to talk about. So this is just kind of a general fun hour during your lunchtime. So on Wednesday nights, we do our regular Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stream, which is the longest running weekly episodic YouTube Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stream going to date. Mm-hmm. So we do that at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope you can join us. We're hoping for some news to drop tomorrow. We will see if anything really does. But there is some interesting stuff going on anyways. We also do then this lunchtime stream at 12 p.m. Eastern time every single day on weekdays. So Monday through Friday, we're doing that. On Saturday mornings, we have our Jedi Academy, which is a pure question and answer stream. And so you come on there, you ask questions. We have a whole group of people like Warrior and Ramon Azab, who are both game changers. And then we have Loki and Mike Hunt as well. So you have the RSG crew plus a bunch of other YouTubers answering questions for you guys. So hop in there, ask questions. And that's usually like a 2-hour stream. Sometimes it goes longer if you guys have more questions. So much more dedicated to question answering.
Yeah, it depends on the week.
We started a new channel called RSG Mature, which is introduced primarily for mature audiences. It is where we do our Saturday night stream. So the night stream is where Ranger and the crew just kind of get tore up and from the floor up, and then they just have fun. So you can subscribe to that channel. Obviously, we have to rebuild that channel a little bit, so sponsorship and that kind of stuff is a little different. So we're still working on building up and developing that channel. And later tonight, we are planning on doing a Borderlands live stream. So it'll be, I think right now it's me, Grim, Cyber, and Tits. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone, but I may be forgetting somebody. If I do, I'm sorry. I think it's a 4-person game. I haven't played it before, so we will see how noobish I am at the first-person shooter.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
So we will be doing that. Ranger is still working on getting a PS4. Just give him some time. And I think that covers everything.
Yeah. Oh, or Xbox. I don't know. Whatever I can get my hands on first.
And Saturday nights, on our live stream at the end, we do answer questions there as well.
Oh, yes.
But we get so much just general chat and talking in the chat there. If you're not there for the live stream, you're missing out because the chat is just
ridiculous,
just hilarious. But if you have questions and you want a better chance of it getting read on the stream, the phone number at the bottom of your screen is a real phone number for where you can ask your questions. So the phone number is RSG for Revin with 2 V's. So that's RSG, the letters RSG, the number 4, and then Revin with 2 V's. So 774-473-8826. Go ahead and call that. Leave your game name as well as a question, and you can go ahead and leave it there, and then you have a better chance of having them read on the stream.
And Teal said, check out the Nerf Herders on Thursday evening. They said they are the redheaded special sibling to RSG.
Yes. The Nerf Herders is the League of Extraordinary Nerf Herders. They do a stream on Thursday nights at 10:30 p.m. With T-Money, who is a regular on our Saturday night stream, and with Teals, good old Maurice, and Darth Bob. So it's a great group of guys. They answer questions. They talk about, they have fun just discussing the game. And they usually have some kind of guest to talk about like a special faction or something going on in the game. So it's a really fun stream. So check them out too.
All right. I think that calls it for the end of the day. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for the lunch stream and tomorrow night for the Wednesday stream. Hope we have a ton of information to put out for you guys, but we will see what CG puts out. But until then, everybody enjoy the rest of your day and we will holler at you later. Bye.